Hello, hello. We're going to get started here in probably about 5 minutes or so. Hey, Edward. Don't call me that name. Hey, DB. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for the sub, dude.
Do we have sex?
Your stream yesterday was a hell of a lot of fun, man. Great night for you. Edward. I have to figure out when I'm doing that how to get that name out of there and just get the cotton pony in there. You know what? I don't even think it's. I don't think it's really about accomplishing too much. I think it's just about entertaining and having a conversation with people, dude. Just getting people talking, and you're an entertaining dude. Anything that you do is entertaining, right? So it's not always about action or anything else. I'm starting to learn that, um, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't know how this is going to go. This is just going to be a new thing for me. I'm just trying to basically capitalize on the time that I have during the week, because I do usually work anywhere from 40 to not 40, sorry, about 50 to 60 hours a week. So when I can stream during the week, it's only a good couple of hours. So I thought I would do something that I'm really passionate about and something that I really, really like doing. And maybe people can learn a little something, and maybe I can learn a little something too. So we'll just go from there. We'll see how it rolls, I guess. Are you going to do a run tonight? Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you get into it and run forever, man. So I get it for sure. I really got to get back to do some little bit more video editing. I'm actually quite, uh, um, probably not as good as some, but I'm actually quite decent at it. My outdoor channel for YouTube, which I haven't updated in a long time. I used to do a lot of stuff, a lot of outdoor stuff on there, ice fishing, camping, all that other jazz. So, but anyway, so what my thoughts are is, Dayz is obviously a survival game. Of course, it has to do with surviving the elements, surviving the zombies. Hey, stat. Surviving um, other people. Like it's a survival game. So one of the things I'm really passionate about is I got about 30 years experience in outdoor stuff. Um, whether it's hunting, fishing, camping, four season camping, hiking. I have very passionate about survival and situations and how to get out of them. I've been dealing with that all my life. I've only been in a couple little ones myself, nothing too major. Um, but hopefully with the experience that I've got over the years, um, maybe a few people can learn some things. And also, there's a lot of people that have a lot of other great ideas too. And I'm always looking to learn. I'm a lifelong learner and always will. So I'm doing some of these situations. The first one I'm going to do is called the HIKER. I got a scenario. I'll bring it up here in a little bit. But I also want to go through and do other situations like a pandemic, like, I know it sounds a little bit morbid, but, a nuclear strike, things like that, that will hopefully help people at least make different decisions when they do things and think a little bit more and know what their body's doing to themselves when it's happening. It's uh, it's very important, and the number one thing in any type of survival situation, obviously, is your mind. If your mind isn't there, the rest of it isn't going to follow. So those are things we're going to talk about. Today we are doing the HIKER, and I've just put up a little bit of a scenario here. So you're a hiker. We decide to go on a 5 day solo hiking trip. It's normal. A lot of people who are outdoors will do those types of trips, no problem. It's going to be solo. Um, you've decided where you're gonna go. You've made a plan. You've discussed it. You've done all the right things. You've left a map. You let people know the route you're going to take. You've done all that good stuff that you should be doing. Letting people know, um, you know, where you're going to go, what you're going to take is only going to help you. And if you don't leave that behind with someone that you know or someone that you love or family or anything, it's honestly just a mistake. So you're going to be dropped off about 15 kilometers northwest of the agreed upon pickup area. The agreed upon pickup area is a hunting camp, an abandoned hunting camp, and you've agreed to meet there. It's southwest of the area that you are now, and you're going to meet there 5 days from now. You don't really expect to see anyone. It is a very remote area. Only small games right now is legal, and the area is actually known for only a few big game hunters. So you feel that you're truly alone, and you are really remote at this point in time. The gear that you're going to have with you, that you're taking on there, is you're taking a small inflatable kayak, something across lakes and rivers and stuff. It is something that I pack in my backpack when I go. Um, it's not really a kayak, it's a small little dinghy, but it does help you get across certain areas and helps you to fish and stuff like that too if you need to. You got a small tent, you got a cooking pot. Everybody takes some type of pot or frying pan. You got a knife, a hatchet, headlamp, and battery. You got a dry bag with sweater, pants, and matches in it. Always smart idea to keep it in a dry bag. You have some dried foods. You have a can of beans, canteen of water, purifying tabs for water, so that if you are on a good move and stuff like that, you don't have to stop. You don't have to boil water. You're going to have those purifying tabs for that. You got some rope. One thing I always recommend everybody carry, no matter what, is carry cordage. And your 550 paracord, even though it's a little bit more expensive, is your best bet because essentially inside that paracord, there is 5 strands of rope that are weaved together under a casing, and each one of those can be taken apart, and they will each hold 50 pounds. They're great for cordage. First aid kit, disinfectant, very important to have. And in this scenario, I have an MK2 just for small games, and only one full clip in it. I would have used a bow because I generally carry a bow over my shoulders when I do things like this, just a traditional bow. But since they don't have it in the game, they have crossbows in the game. But you never want to carry a crossbow when you're going to be hiking. So I'm using the MK first. You have a messenger bag. So anytime you're going camping, you want to make sure that you have a map. You want to make sure that you actually have a compass. You know where you're going, what you're doing. Cell phone in the reception or in the messenger bag. Extra dry food, extra ammo, and flares just in case. Little tiny safety kit. The reason why that is in your a messenger bag over your shoulder opposed to your backpack is because you're always going to be looking at the compass and map, and it's easier to actually swing a messenger bag around just to open up and get your stuff out. It's also good to hold like small game and stuff like that if you're catching it on the way. Situation. So you've been dropped off at the side of the road, and you start to go on your journey. Came across a lake, which you were looking at a map. It's expected. No problems there. You stop. You inflate the kayak, and you continue, but 2/3 ways across the lake. You hit a structure, split the side of your kayak, which in turn sunk it. So that really sucks. I haven't had that in a blow up, but I have tipped a canoe in relatively cold water. It is not a fun deal. Um, so the only things you really could save is one, yourself, because you know how to swim. If you didn't know how to swim, that's even worse for you. And because of the dry bag that you have your clothes in and your matches in, it holds air, so it did keep your backpack afloat, and you were able to save that. Water is extremely cold. We're like in a fall season, and you make your way to shore, and that's where we start the survival. Day number one. What I'm going to do with these days, because we're out for 5 days, this is going to be 5 streams. We're going to work it on a day. We're going to talk about what you should do, the first things you should do, things that you should go through, all that other jazz. And then usually on those hiking trips and camping trips, a lot of people, including myself, write a little journal of what happened that day, so you can always go back and see what happened. And I'm going to do that here, and then I'll make it available on the Discord. And before the next stream, we'll go through. We'll just recap what happened on day one, the way I felt, how my mind worked, and we'll just go from there. Well, I'm just going to jump in now. Just going to be right back in just a couple of seconds. Get myself in there and get geared up. Oh yeah, shit! I forgot. I passworded this server. One moment, please. Yeah, DB, I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's going to be fun. I'm hoping it's going to be fun. I know I'm really going to enjoy it, but we'll see. You know, one of the other major things too that we got to consider is that real life and Davy simulation and the Dayz mechanics and stuff like that isn't really going to work for us 100% the way we want it. Nighttime's going to come quicker. Daytime, might be a little bit longer. So we're just going to have to play the game. We're supposed to be extremely remote, so when we're moving and we come across any roads, power lines, houses, we're going to try to actually stay clear of those. I have allowed myself to go into any shacks that are in the middle of the woods, any type of feed structures, hunting stands, things that you would normally find in an area like this. We can go in there and we can use the stuff that we find there, but we can't go into towns, we can't go into houses, we can't do anything else like that, okay? So here's the lake, obviously. So I'm just actually going to go out in the lake a little bit and get myself wet, because that's exactly what is going to happen. And we're pretty pissed. We lost our boat. A lot of things are going through our mind right now, but really what's going through our mind currently is to get the hell out of the water. That makes a whole lot of sense, right? And I don't know if that's right, Norstat. That's exactly what you do. Oh shit! I'm sorry, dude. Thank you so much. I'm adult. So anyway, I was just in the water. I swam out, dumped my canoe. I just hit shore right now. So when this first happens, your adrenaline is just going to be boosting, guys. It's just going to be jumping. It's just going to be moving, and you really don't know what to do. So you're going to be in a little bit of a tizzy. Things are going to look weird. You're going to be searching around. But really, in this situation, you have to actually stop, and you have to actually embrace the suck. You have to know that you're fucked. You have to know that you've lost your messenger bag. You don't have a map. You don't have your compass anymore. You don't have any extra food to keep you going. You only have what you have in your backpack. You're freezing cold. You have to actually stop and assess the situation and decide, okay, you know what? I know that I'm screwed. Now what do I need to do? And it's very hard to do because the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bolt. You're going to want to run someplace. You're going to want to you're going to start hearing voices in your head that's telling you, hey, just over there is going to be a town. Just over here is going to be something where you can get help. Um, your cell phone is gone. You didn't have cell signal anyway, but that hope is out of there from getting to a top of a mountain or a high place where you can actually call somebody. The only things you know for sure is 5 days from now, you have to be at a certain spot because that's where somebody's going to pick you up. Nobody is going to be looking for you until after 5 days because you can't reach out to anybody. So that's where this whole thing starts. So, and the other scenario too is um, the area that you're in, because you had a route and now you can't follow it because of your map. Um, because you don't have a map, you don't have anything. This whole area that you're in is about 225 um, square kilometers. That's a lot of search area. So anybody for search and rescue and all that other stuff that's going to come out, whether they're flying over, whether they're on foot, whether they're on four-wheeler, that's a lot of area to cover. So you know that your best solution is to go south and find that camp that you were working on or working towards, and then go from there. But right now, you're freezing cold. Your health and everything is good right now. You're still kind of warm because the adrenaline's pumping. You're wet. You know you're going to be cold. The biggest concern that you should have right now is about hypothermia. And contrary to popular belief, hypothermia can happen at any time of the year. Doesn't matter if it's summer, winter, fall, hypothermia can happen. Your natural body temperature is about 98.6 degrees. If that drops by 3 degrees, you're in a hypothermic state. So the only thing that you're going to feel right now coming out of frigid water like this is you're going to have your fine motor skills in your hands and things like that are going to be a little bit um, harder to use. Your hands are going to be harder to use. And that's just mainly because when your hands are extremely cold, the nerve endings that actually send the information to your brain to make your hands work are slower, they're off sync. So that's when you start to get improper motor skills. Very important to remember. So right now, since we got it out of the water, the first thing we got to do is we got to start a fire. We got to get a fire someplace. There's water in front of us. We know we can drink. We got purification tabs still. So we're gonna just find a place to set up camp. And when you find that you're stuck in a situation like this and you're lost, the last thing you want to do for that full day is start to move. To be honest with you, you want to sit down. You want to understand the situation. So let's get a fire going, and then we'll talk a little bit more. Oh, should be able to tear down some of these bushes. All right, well, we'll just take out the hatchet. So as I said before, the thing that I have left over is I have, oh, I'm sorry. I should actually tell you something. One of the main things that you should do generally after you start your fire and get it running is go through your inventory, see what your inventory is, see what you have at hand, and then work with what you got. So, like I said, small game season. I normally would have a bow, but I have a little 22. I only have one clip. All the extra ammo gone in my messenger bag. I got a headlamp and battery. I do have a little bandana. I got a canteen. It is full of water right now, so we're going to be okay for a little bit with water. I got a hatchet, a knife, have a first aid kit. Inside my first aid kit, I got some bandages, a sewing kit. I actually do really recommend a sewing kit in your first aid kit. If you cut yourself deep enough, you need to stitch yourself up, and some disinfectant. Really, the only things that I ever carry in a first aid kit for myself. An apple that wasn't meant to be there, but you know we'll use it. got a can of beans. I'm using powdered milk as like a dried food, but you know, the mountain pack food, the MRE food, stuff like that. That's basically what it is. Add water and eat. We have ourselves a tent. We have 2 pieces of rope. I did give myself, because of Dayz mechanics, I did give myself a couple of things of wire. I'll explain why later. But the wire is really meant to be the rope. But like I said, we're going to have to make some exceptions in some manner. So that's what we have. So right now we're going to take the hatchet and we're going to cut down a tree. And we're going to start a fire. I just need a little tree right now. Perfect. And because we stopped and we decided, we knew that we were screwed, we knew that we were cold, we're starting to understand really right now what we need to do. And we've made the decision that, you know what, the sun is starting to go down, nighttime is coming. Let's get a fire, let's get ourselves dried out. And let's figure out what we need to do next. Dayz voices. Sully, buddy. How you doing? Thanks for popping on in, dude. We're not going to use the bandages up. We really don't have anything for tinder right now, so I'm just going to break up these sticks. I'm going to set them down, and we'll end up getting some bark for tinder. That's pretty standard. If you're out in the bush, the best actually tinder that you can get, um, in my opinion, is cedar. So if you can find a cedar tree and actually just scrape the tree with your knife, you're going to get yourself a nice little bundle of stuff that's almost feels like a little bit of cotton or something like that. That is actually perfect for a friction fire to gain your amber from the friction fire. And yes, it smells very nice. And actually, let's just get some of this bark. And it lights up extremely, extremely quick. A lot of people will bring flint and steel with carbon cloth. Again, with that cedar, it works amazing. Works amazing. This bark being birch bark. If you need to start a fire in a wet situation, birch bark is going to be the best bet for you. The oils inside of it will actually burn fast and hot even when soaking wet. So something that you need to learn, and something you should use. Definitely. So as you can see, my temperature is going down right now. My food and everything is going to go down faster than it's supposed to. So I may need to use some V++ tools or something later, guys. Would probably, to just up my food, up my water, because essentially you can go a long time without food. A lot of people say 7 days, all those other stuff. I wouldn't say that that's a rule of thumb. It depends on how much calorie intake you need to take and how much energy that you're burning at the time. A colder body, it's always going to burn more energy. Oh, yeah, it will rain. Trust me. I might have to do I'll see what happens after this stream, and I might do a little bit of editing on the server to make the weather conditions a little bit different. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. So anyway, now we have the bark. We have it started. We are going to go into our dry pack. Oh no, I fucked up something. Shit. Sorry, my dudes. I fucked up something, but that's okay. We'll fix it. I I don't have any matches, which is fine. We'll work with that. So learning actually how to make friction fire is one thing that everybody should actually play with and test. Now, a friction fire with a piece of bark and a stick doesn't really cut it. It's really honestly not going to work for you that well. The best friction fire and the easiest friction fire in my mind is a bow drill. Same idea, but you have yourself a hearth, which is where you put the drill into, the drill itself, which is basically the stick. The bow is a longer stick with a rope on it. You kind of twist it around, you run it back and forth. And the wood that you pick is actually extremely important as well. And I'm going to save this because we don't need it right now. So at this point, you're freezing. Obviously, well, I'm heating up pretty good right now. But your clothes are soaked, your clothes are wet. So you need to get them off and you need to dry these things out. Now, in this game, it doesn't take too long for these to dry out, but in theory, I would probably build something just above the fire to let the air get to them, let them blow almost like a clothesline or something. And I'd dry them out that way. They'll dry out a hell of a lot faster that way. And right now, there's a lot of things that are actually right now going through your mind in this situation. You're just at the edge of panic right now, because you know that there's a lot of stuff in front of you that you're going to need to take care of. There's a lot of stuff that you're going to have to do. You're unsure of where you're going. You're actually right now unsure of your direction. You don't know where you are. So the only ways that you can actually navigate currently right now is just by using the sun or the stars at night. It's the only way you can do it. So, the old saying, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. It's true to a point, but it's not really true. There's only 2 times a year that the sun is actually due east and due west, and that is the 2 equinoxes. Other than that, the sun is either rising northeast or southeast and setting northwest or southwest. You can still use it for travel, but you can't use it for precise travel. There's only one thing that you can actually use precise for travel is honestly the North Star, the pole star, the North Star, or Polaris. It does move in a small, very small circle in the sky as the Earth rotates, but it is always due north. So you can utilize that for nighttime travel. And when we get there, and if the sun is or if the sky is clear, I'll show you how you can pinpoint where north is. You can have a good night's sleep, and then you're going to make yourself a nice little marker as to where north is going to be, where north is truly. Shit's dry. You're buffed up. You're nice and warm now. Now you got to think about what's next, right? So I don't really think I'm going to go anywhere. We think we're going to stay here for the night. Like I said, the sun's going down. So essentially we know that is northwest, northwest, northwest or southwest. There we go. Sorry, I was getting confused. So really our direction for south is going to be relatively behind us, essentially. But we'll figure that out a little bit later. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to set up a tent. We're going to get things together, and we're going to get ready to hunker down for the night, and we're going to make a plan for the next day. You got a little food now. you know the food isn't going to last you long. So then you got to start thinking about, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with this food? How am I going to get extra food? You don't want to waste too many calories. Um, so you got to start thinking about it. And again, being warm saves calories. The less your body has to fight to keep your body warm, the less calories you're going to burn. So that's going to be extremely important. You need to take the time and make sure that that happens. Now we're just going to look for a place to set the tent. And I guess right here is as good as any. I can get it to choose a placement. It's not being nice to me. Oh, there we go. I wasn't looking out far enough. Okay. There we go. Okay, we got our fire. We got a tent set up. Seems like I got a lot of grass in my tent. Can roll that up, possibly smoke it later. Who knows? Who knows? Pick up your sunglasses. So we're warm. We're dry now. We got the tent set up. We're good. You know, another thing I just realized is I'm a bum. I didn't put a pot in here to boil water. So for the next round, I'll make sure I have a pot. But I think normally what you would want to do is you would want to get some lake water. You would want to get a pot together. You'd want to make yourself a makeshift stand, a pot stand, and I think that's actually available in 1.17. So we're going to go try and do that now. I haven't done that yet. So we're going to get that set up. You're going to want to try to make yourself as comfortable as possible. It's hard, but again, the more comfortable you are, the more sleep you're going to get, the more energy you're going to have, and the more clear-headed you're going to be. I'd have to get some more wood for the fire too. And when the rain does come, you want to get out of rain. You don't want to get soaked. You might set up. Actually, hang on a second. How many do I have here? I think I only need 2. And a long stick. Is that right? There we go. Cool. I'm sure everybody knows with a campfire, it isn't the fire that's the hottest, it's the actual coals. So when you're really cooking and trying to do something or get a roaring fire with water, the best thing for you to do is let that burn down a little bit, feed the coals. And I like to have, when I make a campfire, I like to make a campfire and I like to make another one that's adjacent to it and connected to it. Because what I do is as the poles burn or the coals start to, as the wood burns and you start to get good coals, I actually move those over to, my camping or my cooking place, so I can put things on top and cook it over there. And then you constantly can still burn wood, right? Cool. So if I had a cooking pot, we'd fill it up with water and we would boil our water. Yeah, sorry, I was rushing a little bit, so I didn't get a cooking pot, but we'll have to deal with that. That's pretty cool. I'm glad that they put the. I'm glad they put this in as an update. It's actually pretty sweet. So now that we've boiled water, actually, one thing I should explain about boiling water is it's probably the best and easiest way to actually purify water. Um, a lot of people will water itself, once it reaches 160 degrees, it's before boiling, it's going to actually kill about 95% of the bacteria that's going to be in the water. And if you kept it at 160 degrees for a long period of time, if you don't have a lot of wood, if you don't have all that other stuff, um, you keep it for a long period of time, and you're actually pasteurizing the water. So you're really eventually going to kill everything. There is stories out there, not stories, but people do say that once the water does come to a boil, you just need to boil it for a minute, and then you're good to go. So um, that is true to a point. I always go on the side of caution, so I let my water boil for 5 minutes, roaring boil, for 5 minutes, and then I know it's free and clear. And then you can let it cool off, and you can do whatever you need to do. Fire's going out. I gotta go get more firewood. Hey, Nikki, how you doing? Thanks for popping on in. I should be able to blow it back. Also, guys, there's going to be a rule of thumb. It's my rule of thumb. When you think you have enough firewood for the evening, double it. And then you actually may. Fire does a lot of things for you. One, it's your entertainment, it's your company. It heats you up. It burns you when you walk into it. It cooks your food. It's extremely important. It's a life changer. If you get in there, if you got into this particular situation, I can't handle that many logs. Just out of sync. Anyway, fire is life. You got to keep it going. And just as I was going to say, I'm actually going to cut down more, and I'm going to start bringing a lot of these logs back to the fire because we're going to keep it roaring. You don't need a big bonfire. All you're doing is burning a lot more wood for absolutely no reason, to be honest. Weird. I am at a sink. Okay, let's go get another tree. You're damn right, Stat. Leaving your matches, leaving a lighter, leaving your pot. Dropping your axe. That's a no-no. You guys didn't see me do that. Right. Should have made sure I brought actual pot, like marijuana pot. That's what I should have done. Now, the other thing I don't have is I don't have any fishing gear. That would have been lost even if I had fishing gear and I was fishing and the kayak sank. That would have been lost. It would have been gone. Currently, we really don't have any means to make fishing gear. We don't have any means to make a fishing net. Now, there is something that you can definitely do in that manner. Is you can actually use, I can't remember, I think it's called a gag hook. Can't remember what it's called, but instead of actually having a traditional hook, you can actually sharpen a piece of stick, relatively short, enough to go in a fish's mouth, but you sharpen both sides of it. And then when you do find some bait, you put some bait on it. You want to make sure that that is kind of twisted up more towards the rope or the string that you're using to fish. What happens is when a fish actually swallows it and tries to pull away, it actually straightens out and it gets caught in their throat. It's only a one-time use unless you can cut it out, but it's still something that you can do. I won't be able to do it here because Dayz doesn't have those mechanics. So there's a lot of things that you can do. Throw that back into the fire. We're going to process some more wood. The other thing that I will add to my kit, because I do always honestly bring it, as a sharpening stone. Always bring a sharpening stone. A dull knife. Your axe actually shouldn't be that sharp. It doesn't cut wood as well when it's that sharp. Doesn't split wood as well when it's sharp. It actually sticks. But your knife should always be sharp. Dummy. Put that back down. A dull knife, you'll actually cut yourself more. You guys know this. You'll actually cut yourself more with a dull knife. You could spend time. You absolutely could, stat. But when you actually get dropped into a bunch of freezing water, the first thing you're going to do is try to take a deep breath. You're going to panic because it's so cold and it's going to be such a shock to you. Last thing you want to do is go under the water and try to check things. You definitely could, but in this scenario, we know that we were 2/3 the way, so it is way out there. It is not an attached lake. It is a landlocked lake, so the current is probably dead nothing. So you could go out there and you could try to look for it for sure. But you have no way to see underwater. You have no way to tell how deep it is, those types of things. So you got to make those smart choices. Would it be smart for me to go out there and get that stuff? For the compass and the map, I would say absolutely it would be smart, but I'm going to waste a lot of energy. I'm going to stress myself out a lot, and I'm actually going to get really, really, really cold and I have to dry myself out, which is going to take a lot of my energy. It's going to take a lot of my mental power to make sure that I am not beating myself up and I am actually doing the task at hand that needs to be done. It's so different when you're actually into it. But yes, that definitely would be an option. If you knew the area, if you knew the lake was only 20 feet deep, you'd have a much better idea. A much better idea. So now I'm going to eat my apple. Now I got the night set. It's only going to last probably about an hour or so. So that should be fine. And let's just have a slug of water. Now, the other thing that we really do have to think about is we have enough food essentially for about a day. So we got to think about what we're going to do and where we're going to get food and how we're going to do it. So this is a night where you're calmed down, you've accepted what's going on, you've accepted the fact that you're lost. Um, you're going to get a false sense of security because you're by a lake, you got a fire, you got a tent. That stuff is great to have, and you could live for quite a while if you know what to do. And you had means to catch food, you had means to do all that other stuff. We don't really have much of that right now. We don't know if you're ever going to run into any small games. We don't know if we can get a hook together, if we can find an animal for bones. The other thing that you're going to be concerned about is animals. Um, in the real world, out in the woods, the last thing you really need to be concerned about is your wolves and bears. They do attack. They have. Like, I mean, it's like a lottery attack, right? You can win the lottery for the same amount of time that an animal would attack you. Um, but those are things you still have to be aware of. And what kind of security do I have? What kind of weapons do I have? What kind of forcible weapons do I have that could help me fight off, a kind of attack that way? Right now we have a hatchet, we have a knife. I got a little 22. We can manage that, but that's always going to be a worry. So when you first decide and you've accepted the fact that I'm fucked, um, no one's coming for me for 5 days. I got to make a move. Um, you're going to be concerned. You have to plan out what's going to happen. You have to plan out what's going to happen the next day. Um, and you got to work it out in your head so that you're not ashamed of the situation you're in. Um, you're always double thinking everything that you're going to do. If you're batoning wood, how are you doing it? Take your time. Don't do anything stupid. You don't want to hurt yourself in a scenario like this. So, really, right now, we're going to be thinking about food. We know we're going to stay here for the night. We know we're not going to do a lot of traveling today, because we're just going to get used to the fact of what we need to do, not what we want to do right now. Because right now, really, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to eat your food, and you're going to want to start to move, and you're going to want to move as fast as you possibly can, until you get into a state of panic in the woods and not know your direction anymore and freak out. And that's one thing that you have to not do, totally. So what I would be doing in a situation like this, and I knew I was going to stay the night. I know I have some food, but you kind of want to eat that food as a last resort, because you know it's there. So, what do we have in our pack? What do we have that we can go get some food, um, and not spend a lot of energy? So, fish nets are great for that. Sending still lines are great for that, for fishing if you have the equipment. Snares, something that's going to work when you're not working, something that's going to work when you're sleeping. Um, I do know that the Daisy physics will allow us to make snares. So those are things that we're going to do, and I'm just going to go collect a couple. Do I have another stick? I do. I'm just going to make a couple of more things for those snares. And it's not saying most of the time you're not going to get anything on one or two snares. That's all I'm going to be able to make here. Um, but really, what you want to do is you want to set up 5 to 10 snares if you can. In this game, I know you have to set them in wide open areas, and you need to bait them with like a worm or something, which we'll do. But in the real world, you're going to be trying to snare for grouse. You're going to try to snare for rabbits, and really grouse. You're going to look for fallen trees, mainly spruce trees, things that have needles, something that they eat. You're going to snare around that. For rabbits, you're going to try to find a game trail. You're going to try to find where they're going through thickets. You're going to try to find something that is going to be highly traveled, and you're going to be able to tell that by the way the grass is laid, the way the sticks are bent or turned, how dry little twigs are if they're broken, those types of things. You'll see those, and once you get used to actually looking for them, they actually jump out at you and pop out. So those are things that are going to be very important, to think about and to learn. So right now, because we're just going to sit here for a while, and stay here for the night, we're going to go out and we're going to put some snares together. We'll get some worms as Daisy wants, and we'll set out a couple of snares. I think one snare is going to take up all my wire. If we can make snares with rope, that would actually be better. But we'll do with what we got right now. Does anybody here go out camping a lot? I know you might be editing, DB, but yeah. And do you guys like actually go into the bush to camp, or do you go park camping? So the other thing is we have to set up. You have to remember. Yeah. Tent in the forest is good. Okay, so we're gonna take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So we're gonna go in between these two trees. It's generally about 28 paces from where we are, and we're gonna set our first snare. Yeah, I absolutely no. There we go. They want it to be in an open area. So things like this, I know this doesn't look like a game trail, but you can see breaks. So game trails would kind of look like this, but you'd see flat spots. They would actually go through these thickets. You can actually follow the game trail for quite a while. It's really what you want to look for. But right now, we're just going to set this. That was freaky. Okay, maybe we should be doing... I am out of sync a little bit here, so it's fine. We're not in a whole lot of action, but if you see me waiting and looking around, that's why. Okay, so there's one snare. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try to dig up a worm and see how Daisy wants me to bait that snare. You bet. Timing is everything. Okay, good. You can just attach it. There we go. Snare number 1 done. So now we're going to go back to the campfire. I gotta double check, make sure there's enough wood in it to keep it going. Actually, I didn't need to pick that up. Let's just top it up. So we know the first snare is about 30 paces straight ahead between two trees. Now we want to go someplace else. So we're going to start at the corner of our tent, and we're going to go 30 paces out from the tent. Now this could be 30 paces, 60 paces. Rabbits do love worms, absolutely. 30 paces may be a little bit close, but that's okay. We're in Dayz. We're just trying to figure out what we need to do here. But I would, when you're setting up a bunch, I would probably start at about 100 yards and work your way out to about 500 yards. And there is something that we should do, but I don't have any paper or anything else to show you how to map out your area. but we can talk about that, I guess, in a minute. Okay, we're going to go right here for another snare that is going to be directly across. Our campfire is right there, so we're going to set a second snare up here. And we'll dig up another worm. I have never used a snare in this game yet, so it's going to be kind of cool to see what happens. Nanu, how you doing? Welcome on in, Nanu. There, we got our snares set up. It's funny, one full wire spool takes up one snare. If you have like a 25-foot wire spool or something like that, all you need is about 10 inches for a rabbit snare. Maybe a foot. So again, what I would do is if I had paper or anything else. Hey, Roshi, how you doing? Thanks for popping on in. Ahoy, ahoy. Yeah, so normally what I would do is if I had a journal or something like that, which I generally carry with me when I go, I would actually write where I have the snares and where I put them. And another thing you can do is, I don't know if anybody's heard about ranger beads. You generally don't carry them along, but usually 3 steps, they would call a pace. It depends on how you're doing it. You would count the beads for your pace. You always have a starting bead and an ending bead. So essentially, when this all happens, in a situation like this, what we've done is we've took a look at our pack. We know what's going on. We set some snares. Hopefully we're going to catch some food in those snares. That's going to help us out a lot. And it's also going to work when we're sleeping. Other thing you might want to do, not so much in a scenario like this, because you do have to travel and you do have a rendezvous point that you gotta get to before people start looking for you. Is you'd want to map your area. So you'd want to start doing circles around your area. I'm freezing, so I got to warm up again. You would want to do circles around your area and start looking for what resources are around. And if you can map it out, you can map it out by paces. So essentially what you would do is, using the word essentially a lot, you'd grab a stick, you'd come out 30 paces from where you are, 25 paces, whatever you feel comfortable with, put that stick in the ground, and then count out another 30 paces out. And then from there you would do a circle around. I'm only using 30 paces. It's probably going to be a lot bigger than that. You're going to do a circle around and you're going to get to know what your environment is around you, if there's any other resources that you can use. Once that's done and you didn't find any resources, you would mark down that you didn't find any resources. You would go back to that one center stick that you had. You would go out another 30 paces, another 30 paces, and then do another circle around that stick. And then you would make a box with the sticks, do the circle, and keep on going and keep on going. I've always used the rule that if you have no resources within 30 to 45 minute walk around you, it's time to move. It's time to pack up your shit and it's time to get out of here and do something different. If you have to stay in a situation like this. What we're doing in this situation is, for everybody who just joined, we know that we have a rendezvous point. It's not 5 days away, but we're going to make it 5 days away because we don't know where we're going. We're going to take our time. We're going to make sure we're healthy. We're going to make sure that we get there. Actually, move closer to the fire. You're cold. Another thing you can do in this scenario, honestly, and I do recommend this for day hikers especially, and any of their hikers that that people know that there's a time that they're going to be home is really you should stay put. You should stay put. You shouldn't move. You shouldn't go anywhere. You should use what you have. You should try to fish, hunt, do whatever you need to do. But again, because I've already planned a route, I've left the route with loved ones. They know where I'm going. There's nobody that's going to be looking for me for 5 days, and the search area is so huge. I have to see what I'm going to do. And once we start moving, I'm going to show you little things that you can do with what you have to make sure that if anybody is searching for you, they know at least what direction you're going in, and they know that at least at a certain point in time, you were healthy, alive, and able to move. So they'll keep on searching, and they'll keep on doing that. You want to be found. You want to get to your rendezvous point, and obviously you want to live. And living's the main thing. And I said it before, the biggest thing in an environment like this coming out is hypothermia. Hypothermia will kill you quickly. On set, I don't know if anybody's had hypothermia. I've had it once. And I would say it was probably still only like a level 2 or stage 2 hypothermia, and it wasn't fun warming myself back up. It actually gets very, very painful. But as you start going through more hypothermia, you get disillusioned, you start doing things that you wouldn't do, your motor skills become screwed up, you can't speak properly, you're shivering and shaking like a son of a gun, and that's just your body trying to warm you up. And it's burning a crap load of calories. So now you're losing your energy, your calories are going down, you're getting dehydrated while your body's trying to warm up, which is affecting your brain, it's affecting your thought pattern. You know you're in, hypothermia sucks, dude. And the funniest thing is you know with hypothermia, I call it's your fuck stage. Once you start feeling warm again, you're screwed. Unless you can get immediate medical help within a very short period of time, you're going to get tired. You're going to want to go just sit down and relax. You're going to fall asleep and you're not going to wake up. And what's happening when you get hypothermia and your body gets 2 degrees or 2.5 degrees, just a little bit cooler, your body starts to actually take the blood and focus it on your core more to keep that heat in your core. That's what it's trying to do. Your essential organs, your heart, your lungs, your liver, all those other things, is trying to keep those warm to keep you alive. Once you get to a certain point of hypothermia, that blood disperses out into your extremities to try to save what's left of your active tissue, and that's when you feel super, super warm. And that is extremely dangerous. You are very close to death at that point. So you got to be extremely careful. And like I said, hypothermia doesn't matter whether it's summer, doesn't matter whether it's winter. You can get hypothermia in every climate. The only thing your body has to do is drop its core temperature by 3 points, and you're hypothermic. Ah, thanks, Dad, and thanks, Nikki. I really appreciate that. And like I said, I just want to let you guys know this is just my experience in bushcrafting, fishing, hunting, my passion around actually survival and learning survival. I am not a licensed or a certified survival expert, just letting you know that. But these are all things that I have studied, I've had to use from time to time, and they work. Your only key in any type of these situations is getting out alive, and you're going to do whatever it takes to do that. But you have to keep your mind straight. You have to keep your mind focused. And if it isn't focused, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to cut yourself. You're going to hurt yourself. Cutting yourself in an environment like this in a survival situation is not like cutting yourself at home. It's something that you just... this is all hypothetical and is only for video gaming purposes. Everything, a little sliver, becomes way more of a pain in the ass in a situation like this. A broken leg is just freaking horrible. You just have to be careful. You got to think about everything that you do. And you always want to be on a constant lookout anyway. Just know your surroundings. You want to be careful. You want to know what's around you, if there's any wolves or anything coming. And if we get attacked, oh, sorry, we are reboot time. That's okay. I have to go to little boy's room too. Yeah, later on, once we start moving, I'll show you a little bit more tips and tricks on how people can follow you and what you need to do. We'll talk about some tips and tricks about animals. What if animals do attack you? What if you do get attacked by wolves? What if you do get attacked by bears? I just want to reiterate to people that you're more likely to die from bee stings, um, getting hit by lightning, than you are from actually getting hit by a car, getting murdered on the street, than you are by getting attacked or killed by a wild animal. So, to be honest, the safest place in the world is in the middle of the woods. So, but if it ever does happen, there's things that people should know, and we'll get to that at another time. So I'll be right back in just a second. I just need a bio break, and we'll log back in and keep going. All right, sorry about that. Actually, what I'm going to do here is for people that just joined, I'm just going to cut back quickly and just recap on the scenario and where we are before I jump back in. If I still have it up, I can't remember if I shut her down or not. Oops, hang on 1 second. There, that's better. Okay. So, Nikki, I know you came in a little bit late. A couple other people came in just a little bit. So, I've made up these scenarios very, very quickly. New Friar, buddy. How you doing? Thanks for popping in. I made up these scenarios. This one obviously is the hiker. We're going on a 5-day trip. We had the route all planned out. We had somebody that was dropping us off 15 clicks northwest of a pickup area. The pickup area you decided is a hunting camp. You're going to meet there 5 days from now. It's southeast of your drop off. It's about, like I said, it's about 15 clicks. Um, it's not a populated area. The only time that the area actually gets any people in it is during a few big game hunters come in there, but big game isn't on the plate right now. It's not legal, so only small game is. So you're remote and you're alone. Gave a gear gear list. Um, the small inflatable kayak is the one that split and sunk. That's why we were in the water and we had to go to the shore. Um, have a tent. I've lost my pot. Actually, I didn't put the pot in there. That was my bad. So I don't have a pot. I will put it in there actually for the next stream. Knife and hatchet, headlamp, dry bag, always a good idea. Some dried food, can of beans, some tabs for water, a couple ropes, first aid. Just things that you actually should be bringing. I do have a little gun for small games if we find it. Um, I would have used a bow, but we don't have traditional bows in this game, so I didn't bother using it. And I started off with a messenger bag, just a shoulder bag. That's what I keep my compass. That's what I keep the cell phone, extra dry food, ammo, those types of things. Things that actually, especially your compass and your map, you don't want to have to take your backpack off every time to dig into that to find it out. So a nice messenger bag is always good to have for those types of things. And it's also good to carry your small games. When you actually tip the kayak, you lost the messenger bag. You lost all that extra stuff. So you have no compass. You really don't know where you're going. You only know that it's southeast of your direction right now. And we have no way of telling, besides the sun or the stars or anything else like that, what direction is what. So it's something that we have to work on, and then we're going to have to move. The reason why we're going there is because nobody's expecting us for 5 days, so no one is going to put out a search until after 5 days. So probably on the sixth day they put out a search, but they're going to have in this area on this map, they're going to have about 225 square kilometers that they would have to cover, and that's a big area for people to cover. Water's frigid, yada yada yada. So, what I'm going to do to keep this up to date over the whole 5 days or five streams that I'm going to do this on is I'm going to write a daily journal. When I go out and I do hiking and I camp and do those things, I do like to write down a little few cool things that happen in the day. So, I'm going to write a journal, and this is going to be something that I'll put on Discord, and then we'll just recap every time I start the stream. And there's going to be things that are going to be happening in the journal. You're going to start to tell where your mind's going, what you're thinking, why you're thinking it, who you're missing, just a lot of things like that. Because one of the biggest things that go even in the best survival people is their mind. We are inherently social creatures, and even though people say that they're introverts, they don't like to hang around people. Um, your body and your mind needs it. You need to be around people. You need to be social. So, your mind breakdown is going to be one of the biggest challenges you have for a long period of survival. There. So we're caught up. Now we're going to jump back in. All right. Always keep on forgetting I password protected this server because I just wanted to use it for these purposes. Of course, Nikki. Still just waiting to hop in. It's my server. It's password protected, and I'm in queue. Kidding. After today, I'm going to have to take a look at it and figure out why I'm having that little sync issue. I wonder if my Steam account is out of sync, out of cloud sync. I could do it. It is taking a long time to go back in, though. All right, we'll give it another couple minutes. Both servers are up and running fine, so we'll see what happens. How was everybody's Wednesday? Mine was busier than shit at work. I think you're on holidays, aren't you, Nick? Oh, maybe that was a week or so ago. I don't know, these weeks, with how busy everything is at work, I get these weeks all tied in. One week just bleeds into another. Okay, there we go. That took a hell of a lot of time. I'm gonna have to check my my sync. We're jumping in now, though. I don't even know how you would properly resync your Steam account to the cloud. I'll have to Google it. You should, but your company actually make you take it, or will they pay you out? I actually have an agreement with my work because I do work so much that I think I get 5 weeks vacation a year, and I basically just told them as long as I can take it when I want and how long I want, let's just mark on my vacation time taken, and I can free ball it whenever I want. So that was agreed upon, and I love it. So if I want to take a Friday, I take a Friday. If I want to, I don't have to go through any approval or tell anybody. I just do it. As you can see, there definitely is something wrong here. But we're going to wait it out to join. Sorry for this. Might as well take her. There we go. All right, we're back in. Again, sorry that took so long, guys. I'll check out why afterwards. So we're going to feed our fire. We're going to keep it going. As I mentioned before with firewood, when you think you've collected enough, double it, and that'll probably be enough for the evening. It's a good rule to have. And if you're staying in one area, even though you collected maybe more than what you need, it's not hard to collect firewood. So Okay, so let's take a look at our stuff again. So our heat is doing well. So we're keeping warm. We're not burning a ton of calories, which is what we want to do, or is what we don't want to do. We set out our snares. We got a place to rest for the night. Um, we do have a little bit of water. We still have a little bit of food if we need it. And yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. So now, really, what you want to start doing is you want to start planning out your next days. So if this is going to be day one, you know you have 4 days to get across and get down to that hunting camp. And you want to abandon hunting camp. You want to take your time. You want to make sure that you're healthy, your brain is healthy, you got some food, and you have a plan. So the first thing we're going to have to do in the morning is we're going to have to figure out where the sun is, where the sun comes up. So again, there's only twice a year that the sun rises due east and due west. And that is the two equinoxes. Everything else is going to be skewed north and south a little bit on either side. So you're going to use it as a guide, but it's not going to be perfect. And honestly, if you follow the sun a lot, especially if you're running right into it or towards it, you can. It's a good idea, but you're going to burn your face. You're going to burn your eyes out. You're going to do just a bunch of things. So try not to always look straight up unless you have sunglasses or anything else. Look at the ground. Look at what's in front of you. Make sure you're not tripping. And obviously you want to look for wild edibles and things like that as well. They're good for minerals. They're good for your mood. They're putting something in your belly. But wild edibles really aren't, they're not going to sustain you for a long period of time with the calories that people need, especially a guy my size. They just won't do it. And right now, if we're calling this fall, which is what I would, if there's berry bushes, berry trees, things like that, they're going to contain good ripe berries. But you're also going to be sharing that with wolves in the area. You're going to be sharing with other animals in the area. Not wolves, I'm sorry, bears. And so you got to be careful about that. And when you are walking through the woods, make noise. Your tendency, because you're alone and there's no one else around you, is you want to be as stealth and as quiet as possible. That is the last thing you want to do. And it's human nature. I don't know why it is. Even at night, you find yourself talking a little lighter, not being so loud, especially when you're outdoors. It's like everything's a secret. But when you're by yourself, you need to. If I get blown up here and it ends my stream, it's going to suck. I'm gonna have to come back here after this situation because one of my simulations is going to be about nuclear strike. That's a good sound to have doing it. But yeah, where was I? Yeah, just about being careful, watching what you're doing, being careful about animals, especially around food sources. Um, just be smart. Take your time. So now what I would do, like I said, is I would lay back. I don't do this much, so I don't even know where it's going to be. Oh, there we go. Lie back. We're going to lay back. We're going to relax. We're going to watch the fire. So again, tomorrow what we're going to do is we're going to see what direction the sun is in. If it's morning, if it's night. Obviously, if we wake up in the morning, it's going to be morning, and it's going to be eastern direction where the sun is going to be, so we can actually go south from there. And we're going to make some tracks. Like I said earlier at the very beginning, if I do see towns or anything like that, I am going to bypass them. If I do see any uh, like power lines or anything like that. We're just going to pretend they're not there because that's not what we're trying to do here. I will allow myself to go into tree stands. I will allow myself to go into little shacks that are in the middle of the woods, those types of things, because they do happen in the woods. And sometimes they do have items that you can utilize to survive. Um, and one other thing in a true survival situation, though, if you do run by a cabin or something like that, do not be afraid to break the door and go in if nobody's there. If it's a survival situation, get in there and do it. There's a lot of places and countries that have a rule for that. You cannot get a breaking and entering if it is a survival situation. I don't think that rule applies here in Canada. I don't know a lot about the US, but a lot of places in Europe and stuff like that do have that rule. But I've heard this before. I can't remember where I heard it, but I truly do believe it. In a survival situation, I would break into a cabin. I would break into whatever I needed to survive. I would burn down or cut down um, an electrical pole. I would do whatever it takes to get somebody to get to you, because I would actually rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6. Um, I love that saying. It's actually kind of nice. I'm actually going to go camping this weekend, so that's going to be fun. Yeah, and you know what, Nikki, that's really good because um, most of the time people are going to be respectful. A lot of those places, like, I mean, I know at our hunt camp that we used to have, we used to just leave a note on the counter, basically saying, like, I mean, come in, use whatever you need to use, do whatever you need to do. If you utilize any supplies or anything, all we ask you is just, or if you break anything, all we ask you is just leave a list, of what was used, so we know what we have to pick up next time. Oh yeah, yeah, Fryer. I go out in the bush as much as I possibly can, as often as I possibly can. It's really the only place that I truly relax. Um, in my house, in the city, I sleep about 4.5 hours sleep. I have it at night. I can't sleep any more than 5. I always seem to wake up, and it's just because I got so much shit on my mind, right? I go out camping. I can sleep 8 hours, no problem, no problem at all. Um, and the only thing I know that you need to do the next day is basically get up and catch fish, or go hunting or do something. Because usually when I camp, I do have a buddy that I go camping with that likes my kind of camping. Um, Basically, find a lake on a map, hike to it, set up your own camp spot. Um, but I do a lot of solo camping as well, and I'll go for 3, 4, 5, 6 days. And generally, all I bring is a box of cereal bars and a can of beans. Um, I'll bring like a Mickey of whiskey to have a couple snorts at night. Bring a little baggie of weed so I can chill, and catch fish. And that makes me get up and do things. That makes me go out and catch fish. That makes me. There's been times where I've went a lot of hungry because I haven't caught anything, and there's been times where I've cleaned up sunfish not much bigger than a silver dollar, just to get it done, right? But it's it's a hell of a lot of fun. Oh yeah. So you still have a hunting cabin, Nikki? You don't hunt, do you? Oh yeah. So whereabouts? Like, I mean, obviously, don't give directions, but whereabouts at your hunting cabin? Need some more wood? So, unfortunately, my geography on Quebec isn't that great. So, obviously, that would be north of where you are. Damn it. See, this is something that happens, and it's happened to me. So you set your axe down to pick up something else. You don't realize it. You get up the next morning, you pack up, and then you leave your axe behind, and you don't know where the hell it is. That is not a good thing to do. That is not a good thing to do. And I just did it here in a game. Um, Not smart. Northeast, okay. So is it far enough north in Quebec that there's actually caribou? I know there'd be moose and such and deer, but I know far north you can get caribou. Um, I think that's really it. Actually, no. Let's do it this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish up this wood. Yeah, yeah. We go moose hunting every year. Right now, I'm actually looking at a big old rack that is 48 inches across from point to point. 16 point. A moose rack that I got, or a moose that I got a couple years ago. I should actually start posting some of those outdoor pics, hunting pictures. I still have a freezer full of moose too. I shouldn't say full. It's getting down there. My whole family likes it. My daughter doesn't like it unless she doesn't know that she's eating it. Doesn't taste that much different than doesn't taste that much different at all than beef. If cooked right. Smells different. Tastes the same. There we go. So we're good for wood for another little bit here, which is good to be. There must be some great fishing up there too in those northern lakes. I love it. I just love it. So, sun's going down. There's actually a good way to tell you how much sunlight you guys have left before the sun goes down. I don't know if you guys know this, but no matter where you are, there's going to be a horizon, and you can count to the treetops, or you can count to actually the horizon if you want to. But if you go to the base of the sun, don't stare at it; it'll hurt your eyes. But go to the base of the sun and put your 4 fingers up right underneath the sun. The size of my hands, it's just over 3 fingers. I got big sausage hands, but for the average person, it's 4 fingers. Each finger represents about 15 minutes. So you can actually count down from the sun, like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and that's going to give you a relative time on when the sun's going to go down. It's also going to give you a relative time of the time of day it's going to be. Because you should know, if you're an outdoor person and even a regular person, what time is dusk, what time is sundown. It's 8 o'clock. I go up there, I look at the sun, I got 3 hours. Okay, it's 5 o'clock right now. It's a real good way, give or take 5 or 10 minutes, obviously, depending on the size of the hand, but it allows you to gear how much time you have before you can't see anymore. It's a good deal. It's a good deal. So what I would generally do now is make a plan for the morning. So what we're actually going to do is I think what we need to do is we're going to get up. If I had a pot, we would boil water. We would warm our internals with a little bit of water. We may look at these. We may look at these birch trees and look for chucka. Chucka is a very good antioxidant, and it is a very, very good energizing drink. It's almost like an energy drink. It's awesome to have. If you can find chucka, don't take the whole piece of chucka. Just cut the end off because it will regenerate itself. But if you have to take it all, take it all. It's a very good thing to use. It's very healthy. And any type of warm drink in the morning is going to lift your spirits for sure. So that's what we're going to start with. We're going to run out just before nighttime, and just before we end this particular stream, we're going to run out and we're going to actually check our traps. So we set some snares. We're sitting here relaxing, trying to plan out our next day. Our snares are hunting for us. If I had a fish line, if I had a hook, I'd put a fish line in the water. I'd let those things do the work while I'm actually not burning any calories. I'm trying to stay warm to keep my calorie level low. That's what I'm trying to do. So as you can see right now, I've only ate an apple since we started, but because we're not running around, because I'm staying warm, my energy level isn't dropping that much, which is good. It will eventually, obviously, if I went back in the water and started to freeze, my energy you'll start to see the chevrons grow down much more, and it would kind of suck. Actually, you know what? When I was setting myself up, just give me 1 second, guys. I'm not going anywhere, but I just want to check something. I want to make sure I didn't do something silly on myself here. Okay, sorry about that. I did have to check because I was like, you know what? My food and water should be going down a little bit. So I just wanted to make sure that nothing was really set like in V++ tools. I wanted to make sure that I didn't set myself up for, fucking God mode or anything else like that. Don't want that to happen. So anyway, I just verified that right now. So yeah, we're going to go check that stuff out. We're going to find out where we are. Where the sun is, and we're going to start heading east. We're not going to go on a big fast run like we do, when we're playing the game or playing PvP or anything else like that. We're just going to have a nice casual move. We're going to check along the way for mushrooms, check along the way for any type of other edibles, berries. I think there's berries in this map. There's apples and apple trees. We're going to check for that shit when we go through it. If we run into any tiny little cabins, any type of feed structures or anything, we're going to go inside and we're going to check those out, and we're going to utilize anything that we find in there, unless it's kind of stupid. Then we won't utilize it. There's always a reason for something, right? There's always a reason to use something. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put these back in my backpack because we don't have any tinder. What I'm going to do right now is I noticed when I was in the water, just over here in the corner, there was a fallen boat. The boat's trash, but again, maybe the boat is holding something that can help us. And it's not. So essentially, if you did find a wooden boat like this, you could actually use it for firewood. If the physics allowed us to use this, one thing that Norstat said a little bit earlier, is that it would be good. You could use it actually as a shelter. You could use it as a teepee shelter if you didn't have a tent, not a teepee shelter, but a lean-to. There's a lot of things that you can do with something like this. So you never want to pass it up. You always want to think what you can use something like this for. And if it only ever came down to an easy way to get firewood, or if it came down for a nice way to flip it upside down to keep you out of the rain or something, those are the types of things you want to think about. Oops. Yeah, Nikki, moose is actually very, very much leaner than beef. It's extremely healthy. But we do a lot of. I do moose. I hunt deer. I do go on small games, but I don't really specifically go out for small games. I'll go for a hike and I'll carry a 22 with me. As you know, Nikki, up in Canada, we can't have a 22 handgun like we have in this game. Um, just because it's a restricted firearm, so you can't hunt with it. But I would take a 22 or I would take a 410 shotgun or something like that, and just walk and hike and mark areas and check out for animal sign, check out the actual routes that they're taking. They'll change their routes for different times a year, so I like to see what those routes are and see if they actually follow the same time of year. I do a lot of scoping out before I hunt, and I'm talking months before the hunting season. Oh, fuck! Shit. Shit. Okay, see, this is a scare. This scared the living shit out of me. Okay, this is bad. This is something that you don't want to happen, and it's happened. That scared the hell out of me. In IRL, DB, not in Dayz video game. Holy shit, did that ever wake me up? Okay, so I'm losing blood. I honestly don't know what to do right now. Oh, fuck you. Asshole, where are you? So I wanted to use this for small games. Oh, piss off. Where'd you go? God, guys, this isn't going to work out for me. Oops. Fuck off. Oh my God, guys, I might have to start over. I was not expecting that at all. Okay, this is really... Fuck off. This is really a survival situation here. I just got to bandage myself up. Wow. You cocksuckers, where are you? Where are you? Wow, guys. Well, we got a little bit of meat. They are feisty pups. And you know what? I wasn't prepared for that at all. I really didn't think that that would happen. I'm out of bullets, and I'm passed out. Wow. That couldn't actually happen at a better time, guys. That's actually pretty cool. I'd hate to if I have to restart myself here. Wow. So, in an attack like that, there's one thing. So, me passing out is a very, 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 very bad thing. I don't know if this is a good idea. I can't protect myself in here, and I don't know if they'll come in. And I'm passed out again. In a situation like this, though, the one thing with wolves, I've only ever actually been in one little scary situation with wolves, and I can talk about that later. But the main thing that you don't want to do is if there is wolves or wild dogs or something like that, the biggest thing you need to do is make sure you put your back up against a tree or something like a rock or something that can't do anything to you, so they can't even come behind you. I mean, and if you have a chance, if you have a belt, if you have anything, make sure make sure you tie that around your body, against a tree, because you want to stay upright no matter what happens, especially when it comes to wild dogs or wolves. So you're back up against a tree. Make sure you stay, because if you fall, you're done. The whole pack will be on you in a second. So you have to be extremely careful about that. The other thing that you can do is if they need to piss off, I need to get healthy. Another thing that you can do is if it's a bear attack or something like that, guys, black bears and even wolves do not run. Do not run with wolves. You're going to set yourself up for a chase reflex, and they're going to chase you, and they're going to start biting at your calves and stuff like that. But if a black bear attacks, you fight tooth and nail. You do everything you can with a black bear, because they don't generally stop. So once they get to that period, this is going to sound super, super funny, but one of the main things you want to do is you want to take your fist, you want to put a fist, and you want to drive your fist down that bear's throat. And then you want to use your other hand and you want to go for the eyes. Piss off, I thought they were gone. The reason why you want to do that is because as long as you may lose your arm, but as long as your hand and your arm is down their throat, they can't bite anything else. And they're going to go for your face. They're going to go for your neck. They're going to go for your head. So make sure that you do those types of things and go directly for the eyes. Obviously, it's likely not going to happen. Very likely not going to happen. And I've been in situations where I've seen bears a few dozen times. I've never had any issues with them. I had one bear that was clattering its teeth, swapping at the ground at me and stuff like that. But that was only him being afraid, and that was him telling me to get the fuck away. So when that happens, take the hint and just do it. I need to get the one I killed out there. I dropped my gun. It's useless to me anyway. I have no bullets for it. I'll take it in case I find more bullets, but... Okay, did you hear that little scream in the back? It sounded like a bird. I guarantee you that I got a rabbit back there in my snare. I wish you could punch when you're like this. Damn it. When are these things going to de-aggro? I'm glad they're not coming right into the tent. Fuck, that scared the hell out of me, guys. That woke me right up. That was awesome. I thought that was awesome. So now we're even in a worse situation than we were before. So, you know, now we got to nurse ourselves back to health in order to move. I better stay in the middle of the tent and try to stay still. I'm going to try to eat just a little bit of food, see if that helps me. As soon as I wake up, I'm just going to relax for a minute or two here. And then when I get up, I'm going to eat a little bit of food. But that's crazy because it's so funny. The next thing I was going to talk about is getting some type of force protection. And then we were going to talk about, because of the new physics, you can make spears and stuff like that. So we were going to talk about trying to do that. That would have helped me when I was on top of that rock. I would have ran directly for the tent if I knew that they wouldn't come into the tent. So that was just a last ditch effort. Crazy shit. So that's definitely one thing to talk about too. So I'm in this tent now. Obviously, it's trying to get in. But if that happens and you hear animals outside, especially at night outside of your tent, stuff like that, don't worry about it. Let them go around. Let them do what they need to do. Obviously, you're gonna not have any food in the tent. That's gonna make them want to come in the tent. Your food in theory should be hung up someplace. It doesn't have to be hung up too high, but just enough that bears or anything else aren't going to get them. And you're going to have to put it out a little bit further in the stick because bears can climb. But really, they don't want anything to do with us. They don't like the human scent. They don't want anything to do with us. And it is a good rule, basically when you're looking at situations like this, is that they're more scared of you than you are of them. Don't know if that's 100% true, but pretty close. So stay in the tent, let them go away, and wait till morning. Or until they're gone. I don't have any means to get rid of these. I just have to stay still and hope to hell that they de-aggro and leave. But this could honestly be a situation that you could run into too, right? So you're just waiting. I can't believe that happened after I went in just to see if I was if I had any god mode or anything like that set up. Obviously, I don't. I promise you, I didn't go in and spawn wolves, or else I would have been ready for them in a different manner. That's freaky shit how that happened though. And I didn't hear them howl or anything. No sound whatsoever. I heard a growl and then I started bleeding. Now my fire has gone out. My heat's going to go down. And right now, with my low blood and where my health is, I really can't allow for my heat to go down too much. But we are trying to keep this character alive, so I'm only going to do what I can do. I'm not going to go out there and try to kill them. It just isn't going to work. I just have to stay here and see what we're going to do. Now, one thing that could happen here, if I was smart enough to bring it, and I never actually bring it, is some bear mace, some bear spray. That would get rid of them. Possibly even just a loud air horn may get rid of them. But bear mace definitely would get rid of them. Piss off. Ooh, scary prick. A couple little pictures to maybe add to my journal. Damn it. I guess I just gotta lay back and not move. Maybe they'll de-aggro quicker. Who knows? I still love your comment, DB. Rarer than a lightning strike, eh? Should have brought a tent that I could stand up in. I don't think there is any here. Oops. Learn how to use the game. There we go. So, so if you guys are out camping and something like this happened to you, exactly what we're doing right now, what ideas do you have? Like, I mean, what would you do? Would you wait it out? Would you try to scare them away? So in the same situation that I'm in right now, with the same type of equipment that I have right now, would you have any other suggestions that you think may work on getting those wolves to go away? Me, myself, I think it's just about time. You just got to wait it out. But like I said, people watching these streams may have other really good ideas, and I'm a lifelong learner, and I'm no ego here at all. You're correct. I agree with that too, DB. I'm passing out. I'm bleeding. Still relatively healthy, except for I have no blood. Yeah, I would. I'd probably just suck my thumb and curl up in a ball and cry myself to sleep. But the survivor and hunter in me is seeing meat out there. That's what I'm looking at right now. Meat. And if you could trap one and corral one up, that would be pretty cool. It's live animals, don't need a fridge to stay fresh. Okay, my blood's going up. We're probably going to be okay here. We just got to wait for these little bastards to leave. Now we have some meat that we can cook. So we'll go harvest that meat on that one that I killed. My 22 is useless unless in one of those little places I find some more 22 shells. It's over there too. I'll pick it up. I'll carry it. But absolutely useless to me now. It's going to be useless for any type of small game that we see. Any chickens, spruce chickens, anything like that. It's going to be useless to us. So, and the only two other weapons that we have for protection, they're tools, but also for protection is a knife and a hatchet. And both of those, you have to get close to cause any type of damage to any type of attacking animal or anything else like that. Again, very rare. So what you'd want to do, just even for a sense of safety and security, is get yourself a spear, something that's longer, something that's 5-6 feet long, so you can make those attacks but still make moves if you miss or do something like that. I hope this is entertaining and I hope it's fun for people. And I'm up for any other type of suggestions as long as it comes down to what you would do in IRL, and we're just using Dayz as a visual, as tools, and trying to work with it the best we can to make it kind of be like a real situation. So if you guys have any ideas, that'd be wonderful. For the next 5 streams on Wednesday night, it's just going to be about this hiker and making sure that we get back to our destination to make sure that we can live. If I die during all of this, then we fail. We're dead. Then we have to go back, and then we have to see why, what we did wrong, what happened. And then try to improve on it, and then maybe start again. Who knows? Or I may just start another life and finish the journey, just knowing that we died during this one. Now I'm actually worried about running into a bear. And I don't think a spear is going to take care of a grizzly bear. Oh yeah, by the way, if you are attacked by a grizzly bear, that's when the laying down and playing dead and being absolutely submissive is exactly what you need to do. And at that point, you're hoping for the best, that they're just going to lose interest, they're going to sniff you out, lose interest, and leave. I don't care who you are. If you try to fight a bear, a grizzly bear, you're not going to win. You just won't. John Rambo would. Hey, Tripper, what's going on, buddy? I don't know how much you caught of it, but we're just doing some survival situations. And I just secretly got attacked by wolves and got the shit scared out of me. Just finished having a good cry? Excellent. Alright, well, I'm not passing out anymore, but I want these guys to go away, so we're honestly just gonna die. No, I don't want to die. Okay, here's one. Fuck off. That didn't work. We're just going to sit here and wait. That's all we can do. Actually, everybody, so you know, Tripper is one of my buddies that I go camping and up north with, and fishing and ice fishing and stuff like that. I wouldn't say my best friend or anything, because I'm not sure that. I think he just stomachs me. I think he just puts up with me because I'm the only one that likes to do the same thing that he does. But we seem to get along most of the time. Tripper's a little bit slippery too, Nikki, so he may slide in and out. Oh, there we go. He's here. I was just saying how slippery you are sometimes. Does anybody know with Dayz mechanics how long these things will stay aggro for if I stay still? If they won't leave, I'm going to have to think about doing something different. Hey, Tripper, Nikki 13. She's like the princess of the Dayz community. She's everywhere. Supportive, friendly. One of the best people you can actually probably talk to. No word of a lie. She's awesome. Alright, I'm going to give it 5 more minutes. I'm not going to move. If these guys don't take off, I'm going to have to figure out something to do. Or we just completely stay here because we're screwed. In real life, we'd have to stay here. So maybe in IRL, maybe we have to do this. This may be a part that might not be extremely entertaining, but it's real. Thanks, Nikki. You too. Well, in this hiker scenario that I have going on, I have to ignore the zombies. They're not supposed to be here. And I actually could go in and I could actually take all the zombies away, and I could spend a whole lot of time and take all the buildings and everything away too. I think that might only be in modded maps. I'm not sure if I can do this in Generous Plus, but yeah. How do you not go crazy? Yeah, there's nothing against that. If that was ever to happen, to be honest with you, again, I'm very serious that situations like this you're probably never going to run into, no matter what happens, no matter how much time you spend in the woods. But you'd be scared shitless right now. So either the fear is going to drive you crazy, or you're just going to sit there and be nervous for a hell of a long time. There's really nothing I think you can do, knowing that there's, potential death outside your front door. I just try to breathe, keep myself calm, tell myself that they're not coming in. They don't want to come in. I'm safe where I am. And just, lie to yourself like that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't think you could ever go to sleep in a situation like this. Unless you had some weed and did a couple dozen bong hits and forced yourself to go to sleep. I wouldn't know what that's like, though. I don't touch that stuff. I don't think these guys are good at Diagra. So basically, Tripper just like every Saturday night. Excuse me. Sorry, just being an arsehole. Yeah. I honestly don't know what to do here. In IRL, we know that we would stay here, so maybe I should. Because you guys are with me, I feel like I need to make a movement and do something to keep this going. I guess I could go into the water a little bit. Take my hatchet out, get in the water a little bit, but they'll come in as deep as I will, so they'll still attack. I don't have anything that I can essentially scare them away with. The little 22 is empty. I got a knife, I got a hatchet. There's a cow behind me. Go eat the cows, you fucker. Do I have anything to lose? Yeah, I got my life to lose. So you didn't jump in, but these scenarios that I'm doing is things that would happen that would put you into a survival situation. So I'm trying to use all the knowledge that I know about survival and survival situations to actually, help people, show people, talk to people, learn from people about how to get out of those situations. So, yeah, we're just surviving, dude. So this is day one. This is day one, and I got attacked, and I hate to see what day 2, day 3, day 4 is going to bring. Yeah, in IRL, actually, the wolves probably wouldn't stay here. After you fought back a little bit, even if you were attacked, and after you killed one or whatever, they'd piss off. But you're right; they've got nothing to gain, especially if they heard a cow behind me. No, Well, the big thing with any animals like that, if they do come in your camp, they're looking for food, right? Unfortunately, in this scenario, I'm the food currently right now. But if they don't get any and they leave, they probably won't come back. Correct. They'd be quiet. You wouldn't hear them. All you would hear is them rustling around in the trees circling your tent. That's all you would actually hear. There's two. I killed one. I only think I was attacked by three. I was in the water. I jumped onto the rock. I had a bleed. Kept on jumping at me. I honestly think there was only three, so I think there's only two outside. So I got some meat outside right now if I can get out there. I honestly don't think they're leaving. Okay, I wish I even had a long stick. Peekaboo, run away. Yeah, no, I can't because I can't stand up, so I can't actually swing anything. I'm in a very crouched position. Oh, there's three out there. Shit. So there must have been four, yeah? Oh, fuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Uh-oh. Yes. In IRL. Oh my god. How many of them is there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who is the asshole that made a pack that big? No, dude, look, there's one there, there's one there, there's two. There's one standing back there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's two more over there now. They just keep on coming. I agree. I agree. Norstat. The asshole that made this server. Why did everybody just get quiet? Yeah, see, there's something not syncing, guys. Anyway, the asshole that made this server thought it was a great idea. To make very large wolf packs and increase the predator density. Fuck, this is real survival shit now. Fuck. I gotta get out of this water. Yeah, you know, staying in that tent sounds pretty awesome right now. So, yeah, I made a mistake. Oh, fuck off. Maybe I can get back to my tent. I have to warm up or I'm screwed. Oh, this is gonna suck. I can't die here, guys. Not my first fucking stream. This first survival stream. I kill my guy. Fuck. Yeah, don't listen to me. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. We have to make a run for it. We just gotta make a run for it. Get down! Get down! Fucker. Oh. Okay. Thanks, DB. I really appreciate it. This is the first round. I think we'll only get better and better with it, but I'm having a whole lot of fun right now. Yeah, but you know what? I guess it kind of gives you a... Oh, don't you come in here, you motherfucker. But you know, if it's possible, very, very unlikely, but it's possible that, you know, you could be in a situation like this. This guy's a little bastard. That wolf is attacking the other wolf. They're fighting and everything. That's right. Well, you know, we had to add a little bit of action to this, right? We had to add a little bit of excitement. Yeah. Fuck off. Go away. Thank you. It seemed to work. Everybody else, go away too. Go away. I said, fuck off. Alright, that's not working with that guy. I wish I could swing from in here. Wow. Christ. Alright, sorry about that. I had to look at something. Yeah. Yeah, if I could, you know, at least I should be able to thrust. I can understand I can't do an overhead swing or anything. But again, it's the mechanics. We're doing something that the mechanics weren't 100%. 100% meant for. And if I wasn't a stupid ass and didn't lose my messenger bag in the lake, I would have had more ammo and we could have taken care of them. Jesus. Yeah, I don't think they would care about that. And depending on how long I have to stay in here, I might need to keep the beans. Oh. All right, all right, all right. You shot a pack of wolves with a short stick once? Fuck you. Fuck. I don't think these foot kicks actually do any damage, though. Fuck you. Get up, you fucker. Jesus. Isn't it? Fuck. Find the alpha. Become the alpha. This is terrifying. They're all sticking their heads in. We might, you know, once my health gets up, click, there it is. Once we get a little bit higher, we may have to actually honestly barrel for the water. And I don't know how long they would keep on following us. I honestly don't know how this would work. Actually, you know what? It may not be super entertaining, but I'm going to stick with the whole IRL thing. I think we should stay here. I honestly don't think we should move. And I think when it comes time to end the stream, I think if they're not gone, we'll just sleep here and end here. So just kind of like, you know, if you passed out from drinking too much or smoking too much dope in a situation like this, you'd wake up in the morning and they'd probably be gone. So maybe that's what we need to do. They did. They circled the lake for me, though. When I was swimming over, they were actually running over. That's why I decided to swim back, run out of the water, and then just try to get in. Fuck. They're starting to get brave and come through the front door now. quite the turn to the day. Can you close? I don't even know if you can close the flap. Can you close this flap? Oh. Thanks, Stat. I didn't even know you could close the flap. I didn't know that Dayz had that. Actually, it's more entertaining to watch them. So I'll open the flap for now, but when we go night-night, I'll close the flap. If this was IRL, how much shit would I have in my pants? Jesus. I think I'm shitting myself. Okay, I'm warm, my food, my water's okay. I'm still wet. I don't want to take the time to try to wring anything out right now. My temperature's warm because I'm scared shitless. But as long as the health and everything are going in the right direction, Jesus. Oh, you're a little brave fucker, aren't you? You know, if you had an open tent, though, this is what might, like, you'd have to keep on trying to chase them back. Fun. Yeah, but I tell you what, in real life, I wouldn't try to Tyson them to death. If this was just me normal playing and not trying to actually live and work through this whole scenario that I'm putting together, I'd run out there and try to slug him and end up dead. That's what would happen. But we're trying to make this real. We're trying to make this happen. So all I can do is just try to protect myself as much as I can. I really want to see if they're just going to run away, but as long as I'm moving, as long as I'm here. Yeah, if I could stand up, if you could wield it in the tent, I'd run out and take my time and kill every one of them just like through this door. But you have to get out of the tent, stand up, and then wield it. I feel like I'm in the wheel of time when that happens. I gotta sync up my servers, something's going wrong. Yep. Seems like there's only 4 now. Yeah, like, I mean, when they stop like that, at least I know I could run back to the water without getting hit. Eight, 9, 10. Anywhere from 8 to 12 seconds. Okay, so we got 5. Escape route. Well, you know, I think the best thing that we can do is, like I would do in real life, is I would probably close that flap. I'd lay in the center of the tent and hope for the best. Obviously, keep a knife and or hatchet at hand in case something decides to poke through the tent. Okay, so really today what went on was the hiker flipped, he got to shore. We decided to own our shit, not start freaking out, not start panicking, realizing where we are, and accepting what we're doing. We started a fire. We needed to get warm. At that point in time, if I had a pot with me, we should have heated up some water and had a warm drink. That's also definitely going to help calm you down. We set a couple snares, which I'd like to go check, but obviously I can't. And that's to give us food when we're not working. You know, something always hunting, something always trying to collect food when we're relaxing and saving calories. We set up the tent for warmth, cut up a bunch of wood, got it right by the fire, and we started talking about predator attacks and what to do in the predator attacks. And then about 15 minutes later, we got attacked by wolves. And this is where we are. It is. Hunting rifle would be important. I'm trying to follow the rules basically here in Canada about that type of thing. But yeah, anywhere else, like in the US, yeah, I'd definitely take one. Having a certain caliber of rifle at a certain time of year and going through the woods is not really a legal thing we can do up here. If there's only small game, you should really only have certain calibers out hunting small games. But yeah, if I had a rifle right now, there'd be a lot of dead puppies and I'd have a warm coat. So all in all, it was actually a pretty good first day. We understood what we really need to do on the first day. You guys had some great suggestions, and we also got a little excitement at the end of it all. Carrying a rifle to the supermarket. You know, if they didn't go in the water as far, I would definitely use the water. Or if Dayz um, allowed you to wield it, you know, when you're chest deep, that would be great. Like if I go out there right now, stat, and I have my knife and I'm trying to fight 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wolves that are all right there, I will die. It'd just be like if you were to go out right there with a bunch of wolves in real life, like a bunch of dogs that wanted to attack you. Um, it's not going to be a pleasant thing. Correct. Yeah, absolutely. DB, 100%. Like if I could stand up and wield a knife right here, or even if I could just stand out the front door quickly. But you have to make two moves. You got to actually stand up, and then you got to wield your knife. And by that time, I'm hit once. Got to bleed, at least one bleed for sure. I wish that kicking them in the face when you're on your back, I wish that did damage, but it doesn't. It's fun though. I can't punch, I can't do anything. So yeah, everybody, I think that's probably the best thing that we'll probably do here. Is we'll probably just put down the flap. We'll curl back. And hope the hell when we come in on next Wednesday for round 2, that they're gone so we can commence moving around. I really want to go check my traps in a bad way. Are you guys frozen for good now? You little... Oh. Little bastards. Alright, let's close this down. Maybe they go away if I close it down. You know, maybe the fact that that door was wide open is the reason. Actually, I might give it a couple more minutes just to see. I'm curious of that now. And at the same time, we should have a little bit... Oh, fuck, they don't care. Actually, I never checked to see if I was laying down on my stomach, if I could... I don't think you can. Yeah. Crazy shit. Yeah, right from the can. Ooh, they're quiet. Oh, they're probably frozen. That's why. Turn around, you bastard. Fuck you. Jesus. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna happen. Oh, I hurt one? Wolves don't like beans, DB. DB. And I was real hungry. I would have done that IRL too. Alright, well, nothing I can do seems to help, so... Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's a good idea. Like, I mean, I'm going to keep all these. I am going to download them and put them on the channel, but yeah, maybe just making like a series, like putting them back to back when they're together. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool. You're a good idea, man, DB. Holy shit, get out of here. That's terrifying. That is terrifying. Alright, well, this is where we're going to end it. We're going to log ourselves out. And we'll see what happens, actually, when we come back the next time. Actually, you know what? Just give me one quick second here. I'm not going to go off just yet. I just want to check something quick because I was loading in and it said the server, something about server sync in the corner and I couldn't see it. So sorry, I'm just going to jump back in and I want to see what's going on there. But yeah, I actually really had fun. This was really neat. And in theory, we would have stayed in the tent. We wouldn't have wanted to, go anywhere or do anything because we'd be afraid. We'd want to wait it out. So, I think we did the right thing. So we are logging out. When we come back, I have no idea if the wolves are still going to be there or if they're not. We'll take care of it if it is. I'll figure out something to do. And then we're going to go back to our plan. We're going to set our snares. We're going to go check our snares. If they're not sprung, we'll pick them up. And then we'll start figuring out how to navigate during the day and at night. And we'll start moving south towards our destination and what we need to do. So yeah, old man, you just had a birthday there not too long ago, buddy. You're catching up to me. Yeah, so I'm actually looking forward to next Wednesday, and I think keeping it on Wednesday nights is perfect because a 3-hour stream for me is about perfect. Then I can go eat dinner and do what I need to do at 10 o'clock at night. And yeah, we'll keep on doing that for a while. So yeah, we'll call it there. Thanks so much. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I really appreciate it. Nikki DB, much love. You know that. Same with Norstad. Everybody else that showed up. It was a lot of fun. So um, hoping that we'll get some more people show up and watch it again. Thanks, Stat. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I'm actually finding myself very interested. I really actually want to make the destination now, especially after this wolf stuff. I don't know why. It just makes me more determined to actually get there and live. Should be a lot of fun. And still lots of info to come to. Lots of good info. Night, everybody. Thanks so much. Oh yeah, if you guys want to jump over to Waffles, sure. Sometimes with raiding, when there's only a few people in, a couple people in, I'm not huge. But you know what I mean? I guess a raid is a raid. I like Waffles. I know Waffles. I haven't watched Waffles a lot. Let me check here. No, I mean I'm looking at Doughboy and Son, but that's Fortnite. That's not Dayz. Dead Frag, Kentucky. Bonk's playing something different. Tack. But you know what? I don't know these people. I know who Waffles is, but I haven't really watched her. But I think I actually will do Jack Tackle. Helps me meet new people too, right? We're gonna raid on over. Sooner or later. There we go. See if we can find them. Oh, find her. Gotta be careful about that. Okay, just 1 second here. That noise is bothering me. Off we go.
Are these Willsies?